He was a cop and good at his job, but he committed the ultimate sin and testified against other cops gone bad. Cops that tried to kill him, but got the woman he loved instead. Framed for murder, now he prowls the Badlands, an outlaw hunting outlaws, a bounty hunter, a renegade.
We introduce you now to Tippy-Tap 4, Renegade, and what a fucking intro. Murray, what an intro.
They don't make intros like that anymore, where they just actually tell you what the show is about.
Yeah. See,
now you have to watch like a show for like 3 seasons to even get a kind of a feel for what it's about.
But they have written these characters so shallow that within 20 seconds of the theme song, you know exactly
I feel like I know these. They're like they're old friends, and this is the first episode I've ever sat all the way through. I already want to just have a drink with Reno and Bobby.
I mean, they don't mention Bobby in the theme song, though.
No.
but you get that he is cool because you know Reno's cool.
Right.
And by the way...
And that he's honest.
Can you help me with something here? How many names does fucking Reno have?
He has 2.
Just 2.
He has his government name, Reno Reigns. Okay. No relation to Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And then he has his outlaw name, Vincent Black.
Oh, that's his outlaw name.
Yes.
Okay, because I thought that was a third name they invented for this episode.
No, it's his name he uses.
Oh, Vince Black. That sounds like a Pulp Fiction character.
Isn't that a country singer? Isn't it a country singer named Vince Black?
You know what? That might. Or it might be a comedian.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. But this movie... This TV show...
It's cinematic. It's almost like watching a movie for 44 minutes.
And again, we have addressed this multiple times. The reason we don't do all canon movies is because we're going for that feel golan-globus we're going for.
Well, I mean, we could. If you guys wanted us to, we'd be done. You'd never see us again.
Exactly. Hear us again.
Yeah.
But instead, we go for the spirit because golan-globus inspired every movie ever. We've dissected this in most of our episodes. And Renegade is...
most people don't talk about the power they had over TV as well, even though they never produced a TV show.
Exactly.
As far as I know. I don't know.
Yeah. This is obviously a spiritual successor to the canon way.
This was a classic 90s syndicated TV show. There's a lot of syndicated shows. Do they make even these kind of syndicate? I guess they do.
Of course they do.
But they don't make them like this anymore.
They don't. I don't know what to say about it. I don't watch enough of the modern shows.
There's not really any UHF stations anymore. These were like Channel 20, Channel 50 shows.
That's the thing, too, is, yeah. I mean, you have your arrows and everything, but they're piggybacking off of comics and all that.
Yeah, well, that's on a network. It's on CW, I think it's called. It's a network devoted to teenage girls and cat ladies.
I thought you were going for that kind of vibe. And you know what?
I don't know, because those shows are written for teenage girls and cat ladies. They're not. There's no balls to them at all.
I'm kind of happy we got into this universe of Arrow and shows written for teenage women. Is that what we're going for? That's what we're going for. Because we have a dear friend, and I didn't even know we took suggestions on this podcast, but I got an email suggestion on this podcast.
Describe what you mean by dear friend.
Close acquaintance that sometimes
He's not
is
my
around.
fucking friend.
But he has a very serious question to ask you. DC Comics is apparently putting out a young adult graphic novel with Bruce Wayne in high school. We're getting into the comic talk here. This is what a Tippy-Tap is for, though.
Yeah, this is what people tuned in for.
And these type of teen stories, which the 80s did in film ad nauseum, as we all know, isn't the handsome, rich, athletic guy with the chip on his shoulder usually the bad guy in these stories? And, of course, Bruce Wayne knows karate. Cobra Kai?
I have a theory that Bruce Wayne, Batman, has never had sex.
Really?
because I think he's so guilt-ridden over his parents dying, and he's so consumed with being Batman. Much like every great 80s and 90s hero, he doesn't fuck.
Yeah. Was he in the polo club?
I don't know what that means.
It's exactly what it says. Was he going to a
Polo
prep school?
club?
Was he in the polo
club?
Did he ride a horse?
That's a polo team. It's not a club.
I thought they called them clubs.
No. They
Like
probably
club.
they use kind of a cricket club. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He was too busy trying to become Batman.
Even in his teen
I
years?
reject the whole idea behind that show because he doesn't have time for some fucking teenage drama bullshit. He's fucking Batman.
Again, this is going to be a comic.
The comic. I thought it was going to be another like CW show. That fits right into their like wheelhouse.
No,
I think they have like 4 shows about Jughead and Archie now.
Yeah. No,
fuck.
This was going to be a part of the young adult series that DC puts out.
If I was a young adult, I'd have no interest in reading that. What is that? Does that young adult mean stuff for teenage girls now? Why don't they just call it young teen girl stuff?
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to read a book about Batman having a crush on somebody.
Now, how about this suggestion of maybe...
So I'm assuming it's going to be, I mean, I know I'm right, but it's going to be, there'll be teenage versions of all his, like, rogues gallery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly where he went with that.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Didn't the Venture Brothers kind of do that?
When were they ever in school?
Because they did the episode where they go to
Right
visit...
now, someone's like, I tuned into your Renegade, and they're talking about Batman
That's
for
a
some
good
reason.
point. But the point is, you're not that into it. Do you think Bruce Wayne might be a villain in high school, though? Because he's going to be a chippy dick.
No.
No?
Batman isn't a villain.
Okay. I could just imagine. I could see what he was going for.
I
with him
can't.
with
You're
the
wrong.
Sweater.
Person who's not my friend. You're wrong. Batman would pretend to be a dick because that's what Bruce Wayne was pretending to be.
That's a good point.
He is Batman. His alter ego is Bruce Wayne. The real him is Batman.
Okay.
He pretends to be Bruce Wayne.
So he might dump the nerd's books, but he's going to be like, hey, I'm sorry. Why don't you come over and let's study? And they super theorize together.
Right, and then that nerd comes up with a Batmobile and all those. You know, I wrote it already. You don't need to do it.
So
anyway, getting back to Renegade.
There you go. I did more than just get your response. I got Tim Murray on tape responding.
Speaking of a superhero, Lorenzo Lamas. We're talking about 2 old favorites of G&G.
Yeah.
We covered, I think we've only done, I want to do a movie called Gladiator Cop 2. That has Lorenzo. We've only done so far Snake Eater 3, I believe.
Yeah, I think we've done one.
And I just want to point out, you need to go listen to it because I'm pretty damn sure, we've done so many I can't even remember. I'm pretty damn sure Lorenzo inspired Petroleum Jelly, Cheshire for Men.
He might have.
So you might want to listen to that Snake Eater episode if you like this episode.
Just Snake Eater.
But not, I mean, Lorenzo, he's the side dish. The main entree of this is our favorite, one of the most underappreciated. The guy who got, I'm going to say it's because of industry-wide racism. He got pigeonholed in the role of rapist number 3, thug number 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Mullet of the Gods, Branscombe Richmond, who I've learned, because we're learning too as we go along. We've never, ever claimed to be experts on any of the shit we talk about.
Yeah.
We do a cursory IMDb tribute scan.
Maybe Wikipedia if we're really interested.
And we just let it flow. There's no preparation.
Like the Sioux Falls. We let it flow.
Like the cascading mullet that goes down Branscome's hair, his back. So, what was I saying? Branscombe, I learned from watching the show. I've only seen this one episode. I've watched like a little bit of a few
I've
others.
watched bits and pieces here and there because, I mean, once we started this, I started just watching some of the garbage because I only have antenna. And we get over antenna the 90s garbage. Nash Bridges. Yeah. Oh, my God. I have to find an episode of that because, wow.
Yeah, by the way, if anyone who's an expert in Renegade, let us know. Recommend us a Branscombe heavy episode.
Yeah,
one that's about Bobby Sixkiller.
We want Bobby Sixkiller, who I think used to be called Bobby Fivekiller, and then an episode happened where he became Sixkiller.
If you know who that episode is, let us know because we don't do research. We just said.
And again, we're huge Branscombe Richmond fans. And
right. Underappreciated gem.
Like,
I put him in the pantheon of the Dragos,
Yeah.
the Hannons,
Oh my God, yes.
the Zadars.
And like weeks ago, when Murray and myself started looking into Renegade for this, was before the hard quarantine hit. So we were doing extensive research. I was like raking through that beautiful mullet to try to find all the Branscombe movies out there. There's like nothing.
Well, nothing that he stars in.
Exactly.
He's been thug
Exactly.
number 3
Excuse
in
me.
50 million.
Everything in there, he's like fifth billing or lower. I watched one
He's
movie.
always, because he is, like I said, getting back to my point, thank you for bringing me back full circle. I'm irritated because he's great on Renegade. He's great as a lovable sidekick good guy.
He really is.
And I'm like pissed off that he was never given these opportunities. And he's like, well, you're just going to be a rapist because you look like a rapist to me. No, he doesn't. He looks like a hero to me.
He absolutely does.
This guy, I got to believe he dressed himself for Renegade because I can't believe anybody would have the taste and the
With the
eye,
wardrobe.
the eye for jewelry and accoutrement that Branscombe has.
Everything he had popped. Like everything. He outshines everybody. And you had Lorenzo, pecs popping, jellied up, leather vests on, and yet
He's straight up Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was his...
You know what? I just realized I described Stone Cold. Instead of drinking beers, he drank protein shakes, smash them together, pour them over his face. But Branscombe stole every scene he was in.
Yes.
Every scene.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And you know what?
And that's no knock against Lorenzo. That just shows how great Branscombe is.
Well, Lorenzo's got the Steven Seagal complex, so
No, I'm not gonna go that far. I think
I've heard stories.
you have.
Yeah.
Okay, then fuck him.
I've heard he's a complete asshole.
Okay, then fuck him. But he portrays himself. I don't think as bad as Seagal. He does rock a Nang chin, sweet Nang chin in this ponytail in this one.
Yeah.
But
He might be just narcissistic, whereas Steven Seagal...
I know he's been married like 5 or 6 times. He has like a bunch
Yeah.
of ex-wives. They're all bimbo types.
Yeah, Steven Seagal and Frank Dukes have the problem where they have completely fabricated their own lives because they hate themselves. I don't know.
Really? Lorenzo did? 'Cause Lorenzo, like...
No. I'm saying he is separate from them. He's just a narcissist, whereas...
Well, I think everybody in Hollywood pretty much is.
Yeah.
Except for those guys, much like us, the essential workers of movies,
Yes.
like Billy Drago and Robert Zadar, who you wouldn't have a movie industry without these titans holding up the Steven Seagals and the Michael Dudikoffs of the world.
I was listening to people talk about why Die Hard is good. And the person was smart enough to say, it's not Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is okay. He's a vehicle. You know what he's a vehicle for? Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman and the villains. They're
Well,
so
no, I
good.
mean, Bruce Willis was great in that role because he was doing the job he was supposed to be. John McClane was supposed to be an everyman. And then at each successive movie, he became a superhero.
Okay.
And he was doing crazy shit that, like, fucking Thor would be doing in movies. Like,
Right.
shit even a human wouldn't do. That's
Right.
what got bad with... And it's because fucking Bruce Willis's ego went to his head, you know?
But my point...
He's another piece of
I might
shit.
have stretched it a little too far. My
He's a
point
piece of shit, by
The
the way.
fact that really helps Die Hard is that Alan Rickman is a fucking amazing villain.
Well, you're only as good as your villain.
Exactly.
Which is why Zadar is underappreciated.
Exactly.
And Billy Drago.
Oh, my God. Murray...
And Branscombe Richmond. He could have been a great villain, like head villain, instead of fucking, thug number 3.
There's only so many times before we can say Branscombe Richmond before we have to get into this episode. So let's start getting into this, right?
Bear in mind, I just skimmed over the summaries on the thing.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a Branscombe one, and my eyes just went to Studs. The title of the episode is Studs. It's a season 4 episode. I don't remember what
I think
number.
3 or 4.
And
It'll be in the show notes. Or the title.
Yeah, he really stretches himself as an actor in this one. He shows a sensitive side because he's basically a comic relief character in this show. He's like a shyster. He's always like he's not a con man, but he's always looking to ways to make money.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of his role. And he wears flashy, like fucking bright, even by 90s standards, bright ass fucking like canary yellow suit.
I think when we first see him, he's wearing like a teal shirt with a white jacket. He's got crazy accessories
Crazy
on.
Native American accoutrements.
He's looking amazing.
He really represents, I don't know, I guess, I never really checked. I think he's Native American. I'm not sure.
I'm 99% sure he actually is.
Because I'm not sure, because he kind of looks like he could be like Samoan or some kind of Polynesian thing.
I actually am pretty certain that he is Native.
Well, he's representing the Native people with his jewelry.
He does have a touring band as well.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. Maybe we could end
It's
the
no
episode.
Turtle Rock or whatever. We
Oh,
saw
my
him one time.
Yeah, that's an inside joke.
So, Murray, do you mind me breaching how this episode begins?
Let's get it. Let's roll.
Okay. So we open up with this horny housewife.
Yeah.
She's wearing this beautiful pink, like,
I wasn't in. I get.
suit.
I am not indoor, but I guess you could say she's a MILF. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're in the 90s. I think that's the problem, is that it's dated. Her look is dated. I think if she was modernized, you'd be like, yeah, I'd hit that.
I'd probably go for Dominique more.
That's probably a safe choice. Or Brandy.
Yeah,
I think you would like that kind of evil side to her. No,
Yeah,
she's got that.
she's got that
what's
sexy Catwoman voice.
Yeah,
We'll get
she
into that
does.
later.
So Liza, that's
Liza.
that's our character we're following here, and
Coming
like I said,
home with a bow hunk.
I think you said MILF. She is a mother,
Yes, and she likes to fuck.
and she really,
Which
wants
is what we learned, because she's coming home with a guy who's got that classic shitty 90s floppy parted down the middle hair. It's not like long, but it's not short. It's just, I don't know what. Like,
that guy.
It's kind of like what's going on with Chris' hair right now, because he hasn't had a haircut in like 2 months. Because damn you, coronavirus.
I was out there picking.
I'm at the
and
point,
Lansing.
dude, I'm like, fuck it. If it worst comes to worst, I'll just shave my head with my beard trimmer. I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm going full Jumanji. I'm letting everything go straight out.
I'm going the opposite.
Yeah.
Let's go skinhead.
That's cool, man.
But
But I love this because it's a robbery in broad daylight. And you know what it reminds me of? I just realized this. The older brother in the later seasons of Boy Meets World.
Never saw it.
He's got that fucking long parted hair. He wore his pants all the way up there. So he's supposed to be this gigolo heartthrob that she has to bring. So she opens the door.
They're their second date.
This is their second date, and she opens the door, and she's like, man, I can't wait to get you upstairs to fuck you. And we see him grab a little manila envelope that he planted behind the planter.
He looks both ways. Yoink, grabs that.
Oh.
And we're like, what's going on here? I thought this is a nice, loving couple coming home from a dinner.
But then we catch Liza's view, and her house has been trashed.
Ransacked.
There's nothing in her house, by
you
the way.
see everything. It's like how the Cindy Lou Who's house looked after the Grinch ransacked it.
Yep.
You just see like the outline of where a painting used to be.
Yes, the dust has settled, but everywhere else it's like bright and everything. So everything's bad here.
They even took a little thing, a morsel not even a mouse could eat.
Come on. Are you
just
kidding
like
me?
the Grinch.
Are you kidding me? They even took the Hot Pockets out of the freezer. What fucking
motherfuckers.
Assholes. So we get a quick cutaway to Bobby Sixkiller at the beach.
Wait. We're ahead of ourselves. You didn't explain what's going on with Glenn. Glenn is the gigolo. So Glenn, she's like, what the fuck's going on? Where's my artwork, my sculptures?
Oh, they actually explain
Yes.
more? Okay.
And then Glenn goes, look
We
here.
just watched this. Already forgot it.
Glenn's like, look here, bitch. I got these paintings, these very graphic pictures. I said paintings.
You did.
They paint like it's the Flintstones, like a fucking pelican or whatever. Like, picked it out. And he's like, you got these. And he shows her, and you see a lot of man ass, and
it's John Claude's butt from from Sudden
from every movie,
Bloodsport.
And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm a respectable woman with a crazy ex-husband. I can't have those get out."
None of these photos are anything more revealing than what you would see on Instagram today.
They're just in bed together.
They're in bed sleeping.
They're not fucking. They're just lying in bed together. And we didn't see them all.
That's a good point.
And so he's like, well, if you know it's good for you, you're not going to call the cops about this.
Yes.
You're going to keep your mouth shut. And she's like, whatever. I can't have my kids taken. My husband's crazy.
Okay. You did such a better job of setting up the volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know I did.
I'm
well, why don't you spike it now?
I'm ready to spike this shit because we're going to the beach where Bobby Sixkiller is
Beach volleyball. Perfect fucking metaphor.
So Bobby is set up on the beach. He's got a Muay Thai. He's fucking in a suit.
Muay Thai? It's a Mai Tai.
Muay Thai.
A Muay Thai is kickboxing.
God damn it. Well, we just did sudden death. Break the fourth wall here. Sudden death.
No, we did Bloodsport.
That.
I love how we're referencing Bloodsport, but this episode's actually going to come out before Bloodsport.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway. All right.
Bobby Sixkiller on the beach with his Muay Thai.
No, his Mai Tai.
Mai Tai. And he's loving it. And then you finally see the shade come in. And you're like, what? Come on. Bobby's getting a
He's
sweet
got
tan
his
going.
cigar. He's reading Inc. magazine, what
Inc.
stocks to buy.
Incorporated magazine, not INK. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
INC period.
Well, if you're the kind of clientele we have listening, you already get that.
They get it. Our stock information.
If you're non-essential, you get this show.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then he said this darkened shadow, raining on his parade.
Hey, man, you're blocking my... Reno, what do you want?
We just see this beautiful godlike creature.
Jeans, tank top tucked into said jeans.
Cowboy boots on a beach.
Cowboy boots on a beach. Oh, let's keep pushing this. Wallet, chain.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't learn from the opening is that Bobby Sixkiller owns a bail. He's like a bail bondsman, bounty hunter.
He's the original dog, the bounty hunter.
He sends Reno out to do the hard work, and he does reap some benefits.
Yep,
he's being an entrepreneur.
He is,
and he's like, "Hey, here's your new client. Your new skip chaser. I think that's what we learned. We did Truck Turner. Here's your new bounty. He's right over there.
Yeah, they're running this call girl service on the beach here.
The whorehouse.
Yeah. And we cut over to more teens with their hair parted to the side.
Well, more adults playing teens with their hair parted on the middle.
Infuriated Murray. Couldn't stop yelling. I had to pause the episode.
What infuriated me was the bounty himself had these fucking... I don't know when this came out, but it was the 90s.
It was, yeah.
I don't know where this guy was from, because by this time we all got the newsletter. You wear shorts. You're a man. You wear shorts at least down to your knees. He's got like those fucking early 80s NBA shorts on.
Yeah.
Those nuts is hanging out.
But as I pointed out, the man's got some great legs.
I've seen better.
He is wearing some fresh white Reeboks.
He's got some fresh white Reeboks.
And he's got the tube socks, but he has so conveniently squished them down a little bit because he didn't like more of his calves being covered.
And then he's got like a polo shirt like tucked into his shorts.
And Reno was just like, you want me to take care of this? Where's David Hasselhoff? Nice little Baywatch joke slipped in there.
That was very inside. Like, I got it and you got it, but you might not get that. That was a reference to Baywatch.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of dated references. I enjoy the dated references. Yeah. We'll get into one later. But yeah, so he's like, yeah, there he is. So the guy's talking to one of the whoas. And he's like, I noticed this is Reno's move. He does it 5 times in this episode. He emasculates the guy immediately. Like, hey, lady, drop the 0. Get with a hero.
Emasculates. Okay.
And he's like, hey, man, you shut up. And then Bobby just fucking lays him. And Bobby's enjoying it in the background.
Bobby's got his Muay Thai.
Reno, a.k.a. Vincent, Mai Tai. Vincent is like, just takes him out, like puts him in an arm bar, snaps his arm.
Yeah, we talk jobber matches all the time on this podcast. This was a job.
Yeah.
A job for sure.
And this guy did the job. And then fucking... Bobby's already counting the money. He's like, another job done well.
He's slapping zip tie. He doesn't even have handcuffs. He's zip tying his hands together and shit. He's like, that's $20K in the bank, dog. You'll get your 2%. And
then he's like, excuse me, Reno, my brick phone is buzzing right now.
And the camera...
Did we point out... Didn't we?
We have not pointed this out yet.
Did Reno have a beeper on him, too?
Oh, yes. We did not point that out. I was trying to remember the accessories when I slowly introduced the chain wallet.
Why aren't we talking about Bobby Sixkiller, just... his accessories,
yes,
and his amazing mullet.
Yeah,
this mullet's so amazing. I put up a poll on our Twitter, like, we got a name of this thing. So we gave we said the bison burner, the Lakota lid, the tomahawk top, my personal favorite, the score bonnet. Everyone hated that. And we settled on. So from now on, here's what we're gonna call Branscombe Richmond's flowing, cascading like a waterfall mullet.
And I've already dropped this. You might have to rewind to hear it, but Murray?
We call this the Sioux Falls because it just flows and cascades like a waterfall.
It's beautiful.
The mullet doesn't do this word. The hair can do justice. I got to say this much: if Branscombe Richmond needs a haircut right now, give it to him. I don't give a fuck if people get COVID from him. On top of it, he loves his jewelry and his like accessories. So he's got this sweetest tomahawk dangly earring, and on the other side, it's like just kind of some native like art kind of thing, like a lot of turquoise, aquamarine in it.
It's amazing.
And he loves either bolo ties or the sweet ass like choker, like Indian chokers.
Yeah, he switches up. He has 5 wardrobe changes in a 40-minute episode.
Yeah, and Reno's just from denim to denim. That's all he does.
And Murray, here's one other thing I want to point out real quick before we get to that telephone call. One man could capture so many accessories so well. And you know who that man is? A man who can make a real mean fucking stew. Carl Weathers.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to point out. If you're doing an episode, did we say the episode's called Studs? Because it's got a lot of studs. And if you're talking about the male escort game, you probably want a director who probably has some experience in that world. So, yes, they got Carl Weathers to direct this episode.
The Carl Weathers.
Yes, Apollo Creed.
Okay, so phone rings.
And he does some amazing job with his directing, which we'll talk about as we go along.
As I mentioned, only he could point out so many accessories, beepers, wallet chains.
He points out a lot of shit. There's a lot of post-filming shots they threw in here.
God, I don't know how Carl Weathers' directing career didn't just, like, ascend into the heavens after this.
Much like a Matt Hannon with Samurai Cop, he's like, I've defeated directing. I don't need to do it.
That must have been it.
I've done it. I've rise to the mountaintop.
He didn't get stifled like Branscombe Richmond.
Right.
He reached his peak.
He got inspired.
Okay.
And so, Bobby Sixkiller, Branscombe. He gets his big old brick phone, his Seinfeld phone. He's like, okay, I'll be there right away.
Oh, who's calling?
It's fucking that MILF from earlier, Liza.
Oh,
she's got
shit.
a problem, and this is her simp. Is that what they call them now? Simps.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, she basically cucks Bobby every chance she can get. Bobby's like the sweetheart. He's like he's the keeper, and she doesn't like a lot of ladies. She wants the bad boy.
Oh my God! Yeah, that is exactly how he explains it.
So he shows up at her palatial mansion. She's a successful woman too.
Gated community. They got like a nice little man-created wetlands.
They actually cut out a scene where they're like, "We have a Native American here. Do you know a Native American?
Are you like into crystals or something?"
And she's like, "Yeah, he's my spiritual advisor. Let him in." Okay.
Could he even say that she's romantically interested?
Yeah, of course
in this
not.
Man?
He's
fucking horrible. So, yeah, they're down at this beautiful gazebo overlooking this man-made wetlands, and she's like, look, I wouldn't call you if it wasn't serious. Something's happened.
I wouldn't call you if I didn't need something from you.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's madly in love with her, which we'll learn later.
Yeah.
But now he's just like, what is it, girl? Spill it out. Let me hear.
Well, I'm a hardworking single mother, and the kids take up so much time. I just haven't had time to get into a relationship since I divorced their father, so I paid for sex.
Well, she's like, I have needs still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She is coy about it at first.
Sexual needs.
Yeah. And, I mean, Branscombe's like adjusting his bolo. He's like, yeah, I catch your drift.
Oh, sexual.
I catch your drift.
And she's like, and he's thinking like, oh, is she propositioning me?
Yeah, she wants to take another ride on the Sioux
like,
Falls.
Oh, I wouldn't fuck you with a 10-foot dick. But you know how crazy my husband, the husband that I dumped you for, how crazy he is?
Yeah.
If he found out that me, a single woman, is having a sexual relationship with another man,
yes.
It would ruin me, and they would take the kids away. Because we know that's how the courts usually work. They usually go totally against the woman, and they're like, she had sex. Take those kids away.
If there's proof of a woman sleeping in bed with another man post-divorce, that's it. Kid's gone.
Right.
And
we all we know about this guy is, well, of course, we're just hearing her story. He could be a great guy, but he's a monster. He would beat these kids and treat them like shit. And the judge wouldn't care because he's like, I don't care. Some hussy like you shouldn't be raising kids. Let that child beater raise the kids.
He's probably got ends with the courts.
Probably.
Those fucking liberal judges.
So she's like, I can't have my kids taken away. They're all I care about. The kids I didn't have with you, but with this crazy psycho. All I care about.
And he's got photos. They have
very graphic photos.
And she's got like a ripped off portion of the photo. It's just them.
She's like, I'm shitting in his chest on one of them. The graphic.
You've been really wanting to get that one out there.
It's a good joke. And Franz comes like, ooh, okay. And she's like, look, before they yanked him away, I got the picture of his face perfectly. His total face. And he's like, God, this guy does look like an asshole. I'll see what I can do.
Is that the guy from Boy Meets World? I don't know. But his name was Boy, so that's weird. So
Bobby's like, I got to go with my sexiest friend, Reno.
Oh, and he knows about a fucking gigolo circuit, so he's like, hey, look, Reno, I need somebody.
Forget it, Bobby. I'm a classic 80s, 90s action hero. I don't fuck. Ever.
Wait. Reno, come on. You know me, Bobby. I pull all the shit. I'm the piano puller here. Remember that time I dressed up as a rodeo clown? Do you remember that time I fucking got dunked on by Kobe Bryant?
You remember when I melted shit on my chest?
Do you remember that?
Callback.
Yeah.
And
2 seconds ago.
He's like, okay, you guilted me into it. But I'm not fucking.
I'm not fucking.
But I will go undercover in the gigolo circuit.
Where do I even go for this? Just, I don't know, pull your hair back, ride a motorcycle, go to the fucking gym.
Wherever your gigolo senses take you.
You're kind of a piece of shit. Just go wherever your heart takes you, man.
Where do sleazy guys in L.A. wind up? The gym, of course. So we get this sweet. I've noticed this is a very staple of the Renegade series. We always get a Harley montage.
Oh, then they do that nice like intro or like commercial break music.
Yeah.
What is it like? Bam, bam,
And so we learn that Lorenzo can drive a Harley, I guess. I don't know. And he shows up. He's like, that's where rich douches hang out in L.A., the gym. So he stops there. And this is a very select clientele at this gym.
Yeah.
A lot of sloppy, parted down the middle hair.
Free pec jelly as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
They are one of our best clients, so we can't shit on them too much.
So this is where we meet our pimp, Madam Brandy. And she's got in her henchman, Alan.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking hustling like a motherfucker, you know? And they're working all these horny fucking wives that husbands are constantly working and don't want to fuck them.
These are housewives, and they've got nothing else to do, so they're keeping themselves fit. So we're kind of cutting between Reno and Brandy as they hone in on targets. So
Brandy's doing her info dump to let us know what their business is.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, and Glenn from earlier. She's working on our new pigeon right there.
Yeah.
And fucking Reno, he knows what's up, so he's just like, here's my in.
I like that Reno somehow. Yeah, he figures it out too. Because Reno didn't eavesdrop on that conversation.
No, he's just natural instinct.
Exactly, just magnets.
And did he have an Ang Chen at this point?
He had that nice.
Because he knows, like, if you really want to bang a good broad,
like I said, when you go to the gym, you got to pull your hair back. Because you don't want to get caught in the machinery.
Yeah, just like my master, Zen master, Steven Seagal. He pulls it back in a Nang Chen ponytail.
Of course.
And he does the same move from earlier in the episode. He just face palms Glenn, like, excuse me.
Glenn goes to get this woman he's trying to pick up on. She's got like the saggy 80s kind of thing going on.
Flash dance kind of outfit.
Yeah. And Glenn's hitting on her, let me go get your protein shake. So he, buggers
you know what
off.
that means.
Yeah.
Protein.
Reno swoops in, and he's like, what's a classy lady like you doing at a dump like this?
Doing with a dweeb. What's an all-American lady like you doing with a dweeb like that? I
like that. He puts an arm on the table, and he's flexing so fucking up. You see his hands go white from holding the table.
He was super dehydrated through this whole episode.
He was.
His veins are popping everywhere.
But Glenn shows up. He didn't even get the protein shakes. I didn't see any protein shakes. He shows up, and he's like, hey, man, this girl isn't interested in you.
And she's like, it's okay, Glenn. I don't need you, Glenn. Can you get that protein shake I need? She's like pushing him away.
But Reno is just like, hey, Glenn, you look pretty buff, dude. Do those muscles do anything other than...
Well, he's like, you look like you work out sometimes.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh.
He's like, how about you put those muscles to action? And then Glenn goes, and then throws this like weak ass limp wristed punch.
And Reno breaks the Kumite record. He fucking takes Glenn out in 1 second.
He bullied him. That was a straight up bully move. He just grabs him and goes, get away, and just pushes him away. And then Glenn disappears. He doesn't even come back.
He doesn't go back at all. So he fucking goes back to Lady. He's like, now what was I saying? But I believe Rickman or wherever the fuck the other guys, Alan came in and he was like, oh, I like the way you conduct yourself. We got a little business around here. How are you getting by? And Reno drops this beautiful line. Well, it's just like that play. I depend on the kindness of strangers.
And then he tells him, well, I am an unrestricted free agent in the Gigolo game, so let me hear your offer. I'm interested. He's like, I don't, I make $300 a fucking hour to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can probably better that. Let me talk to Brandy. Here's a card.
And this is where we go in to see Brandy doing some work of her own, is it not?
Yes. Brandy's working on Dominique, sexy blonde who would have no problem getting laid at all.
I love this, though, because they cut to her on the Stairmaster, but she's Steven Seagal It must be a Steven Seagal setting because her foot is moving 1 centimeter. It is the smallest amount, and she's pretending.
Yeah, well, it works. She's got a good body.
Yeah,
and she's got the sheen on the cleavage, so it's looking shiny as all hell.
And she's got it like zippered up top. Like, why would you have that in gym wear? Anyways. So Brandy comes over and notices her, and Brandy.
Hey there, got that.
Who are you mad at? She's got the Dr. Girlfriend voice.
And she's like, "Ugh, my successful husband who's 30 years older than me. He won't fuck me. It's like,
yeah,
he fucks me once a year for my birthday. I don't even get a cake. I just get fucked.
It sounds like you really need to get in with a real man. I'm talking Richter scale 8s and 9s.
And she's like, whoa. I put we learned Dominique's a piece of shit because she just drops this bomb on us. No, I put way too much work into this motherfucker. 9 years of my life. I'm getting paid.
There are so many prenups in there. I'm afraid of getting. Oh, don't worry. This is no strings attached, girl.
She's like, it's not prostitution. It's not like it used to be. Now it's Hugh Grant, Charlie Sheen. They do it.
Yeah, they're all into it. It's okay. We got it all worked out. It's a sound system. 8s, 9s, Richter scale.
No 10s though.
No
Until
10s, right.
later on. So Dominique's like, well, I'll think about it. And then so Brandy finally meets
Reno as he's leaving.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with this. I'm getting out. He's throwing his fucking his sweet tail over his shoulder. He's just like, I'm done. Hopping on his hog again. When Brandy spots him, well, hey there. Who are you coming around here? I want you, before you part ways, to take my card with you. I want to set up a meeting tomorrow. I think it's worth your time.
And he's just like, well, how much? I can make 10 times more than money. She doesn't even know how much he makes. It's like 10 times.
Yeah.
And he's like, see me in my office tomorrow. All right. I'll see you there. That could be a good doon.
Okay.
Okay. So we get back to Liza. What's up with Liza? She's just got off work. She's kicking her shoes off. Hard day's work. And then fucking Glenn and Alan show up.
Oh.
And they're like, did you fucking tell that fucking bison eater? They called fucking Bobby a bison eater.
I didn't even know that. They're inventing new races.
Yeah, they're doing some. Yeah, there's a lot of anti-Native American shit in this episode. And they're like, bitch, you better keep your mouth shut. She's like, I didn't do it, I swear. And then she's like, I'll shut up, I'll say anything. And like, well, we're going to make sure. And they just beat the shit out of Lisa.
And if you keep talking, we're going to dangle you like those earrings dangle off his beautiful ears.
So, cut back to Brandy. She's with Alan. They're chilling and they're waiting for Reno to show up for this
they got
meeting.
like the casting couch room.
So Reno walks in. And we both were just like, this bizarre scene. I don't know why it's here. I want to meet Carl Weathers just so I can ask him about this scene.
I know.
Reno walks in and immediately makes a beeline for a big bowl of fucking M&Ms, and they make a point of showing a hand go into this bowl.
It's an overhead of him going to this bowl. By the way, I want to point out many details about this bowl. I'm going Bernie Sanders on this one. So we noticed the bowl.
It's like a punch bowl.
It's a punch bowl. It's got some waves built into it, and it's also very deep. It's full of M&Ms. And he gets his fucking knuckles deep in M&Ms and pulls out a chunk. And then he sits back down, and he's popping them one at a time, and they have this beautiful meeting, 1% kind of meeting.
Right. And while that's going on, we're seeing the punch. It's not a punch bowl anymore. It's a totally different.
It is like an ashtray with 3 M&Ms in it now.
So that's the story I have. Like, I wanted to talk to Carl Weathers. So obviously they went back. He's like, no, I have to establish that he was eating M&Ms. So they had to show a scene. I think that was. Did we check the skin tone? That might have been Carl's hand grabbing those.
I love it because it's like gigolos have candy. We need a big candy.
That's a big part of the gigolo world. I got to get that across.
When I was a gigolo, the M&Ms were flowing.
And it was M&Ms. It wasn't that fucking like bargain basement shit, generic shit.
Yeah,
that's how you know how successful you are.
It wasn't bullshit sixlets. It was M&M. God damn it! You couldn't go within a COVID safe distance without finding M&Ms.
So, and you don't want to eat those right now in the COVID situation. You know who's been touching those M&Ms. So Brandy just breaks the brass. She just cuts to the brass tacks. She's like, "Look, I can give you $300 an hour." He's like, "I already make $300 an hour."
And I don't even. What's your take of this? Because if I'm making $300, what's your take? Well, we take 10%.
No, I thought she was like, we don't take anything because they have that.
I thought there was a small percent.
Okay, but I figured they wouldn't because they have that.
That's
true. The thieving ring.
It's true. I think you're right. I think I'm getting it wrong here because yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm interested. She's like, oh, good. Well, before we do that,
and of course, but he's pushing this angle that there's people after him and he needs money. So 300.
Well, yeah, because he's like he wants to cut to the chase. They don't have time to just like ease his way into this business.
Yeah. And 300 is not gonna cut it. We already know he makes that. So he's like, I need to know what hustle you're in on because I need more than 300 if I'm gonna sign up with you. And
she's like, well, I can. The sky's the limits. But before that happens,
trial run.
We need to do some glamour shots.
Of course.
So they go down to the mall.
How do you sell a fucking car if you don't take some pictures of it?
They go to the mall where the glamour shot place is at.
Oh, of course.
They dress him up in all the finest 90s fashion. They put him in the Stone Cold Steve Austin outfit.
It's part like 18-year-old senior photos, part.
Then they take
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And then there's like some B-roll from like the fucking opening scene.
Yes, there was.
Where he's like outside and he's pouring water on his chest and all this shit. And that lasts about 20 minutes, this photo session.
It is way too long.
And then Bobby, fucking lovable Bobby.
Yeah.
I guess he got news that because he has people working everywhere, so they let him know what's going on.
He does.
And somebody at the hospital called him and said, "Hey, remember that Lisa chick you were fucking? She came in with a fucking broken arm and bruises all on her face." So he goes back to that gazebo. She won't allow him in the house. You notice that she won't allow him in the house.
No, she does meet him at the house.
Oh, does she?
We see the gated community.
But she won't let him in the house.
She doesn't want to let him in the house. She barely want to let him into the gated community. But he was like, look, you asked for my help.
Right.
I'm getting in here whether I run this fucking door down or not. So she lets him in.
She's got the sling, a neck brace, fucking face is all bruised up.
Oh, man.
And she's like, back the fuck off. You don't want to mess with these people.
Yeah.
It's like there's like two fucking wussy-ass guys and a woman. Like that, you don't want to mess with these people.
I know.
And like some fat guy that does all the moving shit for them.
They said they were going to go Manifest Destiny Part 2 all over your ass if you try to help out. They know about you. They said Sioux Falls, more like shit falls. That was about your hair, Bobby.
And then he looks hurt for a minute. Because this is the great acting that Branscombe does.
He does.
He looks hurt for a moment, and then he goes, okay, I understand. And then he winks at the camera and walks off.
And you just hear Liza, Bobby! No! Bobby!
No!
So we go back to Dominique. You really want to get more of those fucking cuts in there?
So, Dom. Monique meets with Brandy. She's got her you remember how what's his face? Mitt Romney had binders full of women. Brandy has binders full of men.
What?
You don't remember that? You can't remember anything that happened a fucking hour ago. That was this whole, they were giving him shit because Mitt Romney didn't have women like when he in his like whatever cabinet or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have binders full of women. Meaning he just had binders full of this shit, but people took it out of context to be annoying.
No, it's funny.
Yeah, well, it was before you stepped on the joke. But so they have binders full of men, and she's looking through it, and she's like, 2 white, 2 black, 2 this, 2
the
that.
cops in there, and she's like, oh, God.
Nerd.
No.
Nerd!
I believe the word she used was milquetoast.
She did. And then she sees Glenn. She's like, oh, I guess he's okay.
Yeah, she was like, he kind of reminds me of that guy from Boy Meets World.
Kind of the guy that raped me in fucking high school.
What's he like? Well, he's the head of the polo club. He's kind of got that cute bad boy vibe going on. Like,
no, he doesn't. He's a pussy.
He's kind of a puss.
A chump.
Dominique's ready to settle, and she's like, whoa. You haven't finished the last 14 pages of our new entree.
Yeah, because right before the scene, we see Brandy like laminating the shit and putting them in the scrapbooking.
Have a couple more M&Ms and really look at those next few pages.
And then she's like, whoa. The last 14 pages are all Reno.
Go to a fucking scene break because I'm going to take a moment with these pictures.
And she's like, who the fuck is this? I would give up my fucking money I'm owed for my marriage. And like,
no prenup is
you like
worth
what
it.
you see, do you? And she's like, yeah, I want this guy. So Reno, back to Reno. What's he doing? He's chatting with Bobby. He's like, look, it's getting too hot and heavy. I said I would not fuck. I want out, Bobby. Out! And Bobby's like, and he's walking away, and like he thought the conversation was over. And then Bobby's like, I met her a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then he immediately goes, sorry. He's like, we met at a charity auction. We were bidding on the same thing. It was something stupid. I don't know. It was a paper mache lion with a mane made out of yarn. I don't know. That doesn't matter. All I know is I won. But I knew she wanted it more, so I gave it to her.
We met in the hallway, and I learned about her and her cause, and I gave it to her. But you know what? She took more than that day.
She stole my heart.
Bobby fucking Sixkiller!
I was with her for a year and a half, and then, well, as luck would have it, she just dumped me immediately for her piece of shit fucking husband, who was her fiancé at the time, who beat her relentlessly. And now she's with him, and they have kids. And I know because she cruelly sends me a Christmas card every year.
Yeah.
This woman is fucking garbage,
Of
Bobby.
the kids.
She should be beaten.
Can you imagine what these kids would look like if they were ours?
If they were half Indian? I don't think so. Because they'd never be. And he's just like, I would, he's like, remember, and then he had to like guilt trip Reno. It's kind of like, my love for her is kind of like the love you have for your dead wife.
Yeah.
And then finally, because fucking Reno's so full of himself, it's like a lot of people, until it happens to them, they don't really understand.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
You're capable of love, too. I thought I was the only one.
Here's the best part about that. We could be going like, wait, what? Reno had a wife? And she said, the theme taught us that in 20 seconds.
And he's like, if you won't do it for me, the guy who's employing you and keeping your secret for you, because you're on the run from the law, do it for this. And he hands up that Christmas card.
So just so happens that Reno gets a call right on cue. And it's not Dominique, but Brandy. Hey, good looking. That delightful Dominique wants to meet up with you. Why don't you go down to the they have like a hotel that
go down to the Kumite bar.
Go down, yes. Go down to the Kumite bar. She'll be there in a blue dress with a blue sash. She uses it to cover her face for the COVID times as well.
So, of course, Reno, he knows how to dress. So he puts his fucking hair back in the Nang Chen ponytail. Mm-hmm. He's got the fly ass
saggy black suit on.
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
It was saggy. It was
he
the
actually,
90s.
I'm glad
it was
he
very
didn't
boxy.
I'm sorry. I'm glad he didn't just wear like this jacket and jeans.
Yeah.
He actually did wear like nice pants.
Well, he's supposed to be a high end hustler.
Yeah, a gigolo.
So Dom is like I don't need. This is my meal right here. Let's take it up to the fucking hotel
he's
room.
like, let's get some drinks. You know,
He's trying to stall it off because
Yeah.
he doesn't want to ruin his. These people in this show are so committed to relationships that aren't even there anymore. Like, his wife's dead now. Like, I think your wife would want you to, like, move on.
That's a good point.
But no.
Holy shit, I wanted to bring up MacGyver, and this reminded me of it. I watched 5 minutes of an episode today. Another Russian-based episode, like our fucking Bigfoot episode. A woman wanted to fuck him so bad that MacGyver that she lied about having a husband, and she was like, remember when we dated? He's like, that was when we were 18. MacGyver's supposed to be like in his late 30s. She's like, yeah, but it was great. And he's like, it kind of was. And she just starts fucking making out with him. And he's like, okay, I guess it's pretty cool. So I guess he does like her. But the main thing I want to point out, and I'm done here, I heard that theme. It is limp dick as all fuck. Especially when you compare it to Renegade.
I told you.
I still am a fan of MacGyver, but that is a limp dick theme. Anyways.
So she takes him straight up to the room that she has rented out.
Speaking of limp dicks.
And while that's going on, apparently this is a room that Brandy sets up for the blackmailing.
Yes.
So she's got bugs everywhere you can see them. Because, like, I mean, if you're gonna, and this is a classic TV place where you hide the bugs. Always on a lamp. Always on a lamp.
And you pointed this out. There's that little knobby fixture that you use to turn a lamp on and off.
Yeah, it's called the knob.
Yeah, it's called the knob.
Not a knobby fixture.
She puts the camera right. It's not even a camera. This is not the full camera room. This is just audio room.
Right.
She places the microphone on the knob fixture.
So she's like, let me go slip into something more comfortable. So she goes off. So Reno's like, he checks he knows all the places because he's watched the same shows we have. So he checks like the paintings on the wall. And then
the plants. There's very big suspicious plants in this. And he's like,
aha, he finds it and then breaks it.
Yeah.
And then you see Brandy like with some headphones on. What's going on?
Man, this is not good. And we go back. Dominique is just wearing like a lingerie and like some big stockings and high heels. And I swear they don't get this level of tease. I don't know what to say. Nude, but it's pretty revealing.
Very graphic.
It's pretty revealing.
I don't know.
There's a lot of boobage happening here.
A lot of cleavage.
Again, it's nothing more than what you would see
mean,
on
I think
Instagram.
it probably looks more than this to you because she's got sheen on her cleavage.
That's what.
And sheen, chest sheen for women, really accentuates the cleavage.
Was it sheen or did some of his pec jelly?
Well, no, he did. That's the thing. He didn't have any on, but there was a complimentary tub like right on the
with the champagne on ice, and the
and
Budweiser and the fruits,
and that's why she took the. She took the shirt. Guys, if you're new to our show, there's so many layers that you could be getting. Like, we're cracking each other up because we're calling back all these old episodes. So she, like, scoops this big glob out and slaps it on his chest because she rips his shirt off.
He's playing hard to get because he's got that limp dick like I joked about earlier.
Right.
And so
he was probably listening to the MacGyver theme song to keep his dick low.
That's how he keeps it. How he holds premature ejaculation back. So he's like, "Look, I'm not gonna fuck you," and she's like, "Oh, you're playing hard again. I like it." She comes over, takes his shirt off, starts taking his belt buckle off, slaps that fucking pec jelly on him. She's like, "I want this to be real fucking loose and tight at the same time."
Loose and tight at the same time. So, and Reno's like, no, I can't. And then she's like, what the fuck? What are you, MacGyver? Why can't you? I'm a hot chick. And he's like, look. He spills his guts. He's like, I'm undercover.
I'm not a gigolo. Yeah, you're not a gigolo. And I'm not a horny, sexy, housewife.
You, this fucking sexy as fuck man, how can you not be a gigolo? I'm not. I'm on the run. He spills his whole guts. He's like, I'm on the run from this. Let's do it.
My wife is dead.
And then he was like, you know what? Just listen to this intro to our TV show.
Bam, 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 bam.
And then she goes, and then she's like, oh, I'm out of here. He's like, no, I have a friend. She's desperate measures with these people. She's like, let her figure it out. I'm not getting involved. And she gets dressed and she fucking leaves. And he's just left there with his dick in
He
his
does
hand.
show her pictures of.
Yeah, he shows
beat-up
pictures
wife.
of her beat up.
Yeah.
He's like, this is gonna happen. He's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
So he gets her a little rattled and everything. But Reno he's heading back. He's dressed in his full baggy suit again. He's heading back to the parking lot. He's really thinking it over. Like, did I do the wrong thing by showing her that graphic picture of a woman who was abused? And as he's really thinking it over, he gets fucking jumped
By Glenn and Alan.
Glenn and
So
Alan.
Alan's got the gun. You pointed out very well. Both of them are doing some great Billy Drago hand acting.
Just the what?
Pay attention to this scene, the hands.
Yeah, left hand specifically, the non-gun hand. He is doing so much work with this.
Glenn is too, because he's got it pinned up with one arm and the other hand's behind
You're
him for some
right,
reason,
you're
and he's
right.
like doing some fucking sign language with
I
it.
fucking love the work that's happening here. It is spectacular.
And fucking
Carl fucking Weathers killing it.
And Reno, this isn't the first time he's had a gun in his face, so he's
Yeah.
just totally cool, calm, cool, collected, and he just boom, just fucking. Reno's thing is kicks. He does a lot of roundhouses, a lot of back kicks, and he takes. Of course, he fucking took care of Glenn earlier, so we know that's no problem. But he fucks up Alan too, and pins Alan against the car, and it's like, watch your back, motherfucker. He's still like letting. He's not letting him in on that. He's still trying to tell him that he's a gigolo.
Yeah.
You know, he isn't blown this cover yet.
He just doesn't like being fucking threatened with a gun.
Right, yeah, crazy.
So we go to the next morning. Reno's meeting back up with Dominique, Brandy. I was reading that. And Reno is immediate, like, of course, Brandy is upset. Look, you can't be going around fighting microphones and breaking them.
He's like, I like my privacy. He's got it all covered. He's a Frank Dukes. He has everything covered, every lie covered.
He does. He really does. Well, here's the thing. We like you. And you know what? Dominique called in. You got the passing grade. You're pretty good.
She said you were 4 inches from the ground.
And that's the kind of talent we're looking for here at Gigolo Enterprises.
And he's like, but I need money now. I have 2 ex-cons fucking 2 steps behind me. I need now. And
Reno is going through M&M's like they are extinct at this point.
And he's like, I can't just be fucking him. What? And she's like, well, let me tell you about something we're doing. And she tells the whole scheme of what they do, how they blackmail these women.
Yep.
And he's just like, yes, I got it. I got the evidence.
And you need to get another date with Dominique.
Take her to this specific room where we have all our fucking cameras.
Yep. And we'll get more directions for you and everything. But the first thing you got to do, get that bitch in that room.
And she's like, I can do that. So he runs back to Bobby. And he's like, look, I got all the fucking shit we need. I don't need to fuck anybody. And he's like, no, you still need to do this. Go talk to Dom. Find out what she knows or what she's going, because he knows she's kind of in, because she did cover for him by saying he was amazing.
Yes.
And so he goes to Dominique.
And of course, she's at the Kumite Bar.
Kumite Bar and Grill.
And we also know that's where Brandy and fucking Guile or whatever his name is. That's where.
Guile.
What was his name? Glenn. That's where they.
Isn't Guile like a fucking Street Fighter character?
So that's where they hang out. So they're on a balcony just watching this interaction happening.
And she's like, what did you find out about this Reno Reigns? He's like,
Yeah.
there's nothing about him. He doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist.
He's like fucking Forrest Taft.
He's Forrest.
You can't see the forest for the trees.
God damn it.
And she's like, well, did you check where he fucking,
The hotel.
Yeah. And he's like,
Did we even mention his fake name? Vincent Black?
yeah,
We
Vincent
did.
Black, yeah. And we find out he works for some guy named Bobby Sixkiller, because they actually use the company credit card.
I know, yes. Oh, that's so good.
And so the jig is up. They're on to him, and he's
I
on to them.
love that Brandy has to put it together for him, though.
Well, he's supposed to be a dumb himbo.
Exactly. Ugh, so was the Boy Meets World character. So Corey, I think his name was.
Boy
Corey
meets
was
Pimp, I
yeah.
guess.
So Reno has Dominique, and they're out like in this little wooded area just outside of the Kumite Bar and Grill.
There's no bugs
/ gym, and they're having a private word, and she's like, "Look, I really do love my husband.
I just need the meat injections every once in a while." Well, she says a little more graphically than I put it, but
and yours was pretty gross to begin with, so that was impressive.
So
90s TV,
Reno's
man.
like, look, all you gotta do is make him jealous. It worked every time. And she's like, I'll think about that. So like we said, Glenn finds out. He tells Brandy everything. Yeah. So now both people are aware of what's going on.
We go to that night. Glenn is picking up. No, it was 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was the date.
Oh, Glenn. It's not. It's Reno.
Oh, excuse
Reno
me.
Picks up Tom.
Yeah.
And they go to 4 o'clock because the rates are better. They want to save some money.
They go for that nice matinee. They get the early bird at fucking Denny's.
Yeah. And we see Brandy in her office. She's got the cameras on. She's watching everything.
Yeah. I like that Glenn walks in at this point, and he's like,
grabs a can of M&M's. What are you watching?
And she rifled some joke out that went over my head, but you got it completely.
She's like, yeah, I'm watching. What do you think I'm watching? Michael and Lisa Marie, which of course is a reference to Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie when they got married. And he's like, who are they? He was basically your cipher.
Yeah.
He was just.
But
so
Glenn points out, hey, you were right about that Bobby Sixkiller. That's a real name, and it's an enterprise, and it's a Native American man.
They're bounty hunters.
Yeah,
crazy, ain't it? She's like, oh, you idiots!
But don't bust them yet. I have a plan for them. I forgot I want to do my sultry woman voice. I have a plan for them.
That's very sultry.
Very sultry.
So yeah, she's got a trap of her own.
Ooh.
So okay, remember people. The whole plan, the original plan was he would be fucking Dominique. They'd be taking pictures while they're fucking. These guys, these moving guys, would be stealing everything from Dominique. Because apparently they time everything out perfectly to make sure the husband's like away on business.
They knew he was away on business because they somehow know this information.
Yes. Everybody won't keep their mouth shut at the fucking rich people gym. They're just gossip.
For sure.
And so the goons are already doing a Grinch number on Dominique's house.
Yep.
And so they're like, Reno's like, all right, just pretend you're into me. Let's go to bed.
Yeah, and he's hamming it up real well because they're like full on making out. She still actually really wants to bang him, so it's not hard.
They're macking hard.
It's not hard to fake it when you really fucking want it.
And then he whispers to her, these people, they might be scumbag blackmailers, but I think they care about people's privacy, so I highly doubt they're going to have any cameras or any bugging equipment in the bathroom.
That is a mouthful to say indiscretion, but Lorenzo Lamas killed it. Carl Weathers killing it again.
I think there's a lot of editing on Carl Weathers' part.
It's seamless.
Yeah,
it is seamless.
And she's like, all right. And then he's like, but make it look like you want to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I want to fuck you on the bed. No, I want to shit on you.
We gotta go on the bed. My thing is to shit on people, and I really want to get you in the bubble bath.
You can shit on me, too. She's crazy. She's that's why her husband won't fuck her, because he's like, what did I marry? I thought I was just marrying a trophy wife. So she gets him in there because Brandy, she's on to him. He knows Brandy's on to him, so he's like, you got to pretend like you want it.
Yeah.
They go in there. Of course, they're honorable thieves. Yep. There is honor among thieves, apparently, because there's no bugging equipment in the bathroom.
They know the microphones can still pick up on them.
Right.
So they're just going, and Reno's shining his boots. Dominique's fiddling with her top, putting her boobs back away.
Filing her nails.
Well, yeah, she's a little into it, too. Oh, you said filing her nails.
Yeah. And so they're doing that. They're distracting Brandy. While that's going on, Bobby,
Dominique.
Dominic. I imagine that's probably what it sounds like in real life.
The deadpan of Lorenzo Lamas saying that was amazing.
Yeah. And so his job is to go to Dominique's house and stop these guys from robbing the place.
Yeah.
So he shows up, and they're like, hey, Bison Burner, fuck you. And they get him from behind.
Well, they think Bobby thinks he gets the jump on the thieves because this plan has layers, much like a lot of our shows. It has
Right.
layers. So Bobby shows up. The thieves get caught red-handed by Bobby, off guard. He's got him, with a gun point and everything. And it's like, oh, Bobby got him. Then Brandy steps out. She puts on her Dr. Girlfriend voice, and she's like, I'm really trying to put one in the masculinity book. I'm getting down on this. Down with the sickness. Oh, I.
That would
Murray hates
that would creep me out. And
She
so
was creepy in that
they
moment, though.
capture Bobby, tie him up, and throw him in the back of the moving van. I guess they're just gonna shoot him in the back of the head and dump him somewhere. I don't know what they were gonna do. And they actually gag him with a strand of his own mullet. It was crazy.
That was horrible. Yeah. That was very creative, but
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. And so Reno and Dom, Glenn jumps in the room for some reason. I guess because he figured. I was like, no way you could fuck that long in a bathroom.
Yeah.
So he comes in. Reno just takes him out of the
Nobody has
roundhouse.
that much poop. They're not pooping on each other anymore.
And so he takes him out of the roundhouse, and they zip tie him, and they go, fucking just leave him for housekeeping to take care of.
Yeah.
We got to go to that fucking room they have that we didn't talk about earlier, but Carl made sure to really point out there was one drawer where they keep all their negatives and pictures of all these women.
Also the only piece of furniture without a bowl of M&Ms on it, so it stands out.
Yes.
The piano has so many M&Ms
Now
on
I know
it.
why there's M&Ms. You're exactly right. That was like make you zero in on the one that doesn't.
Yep.
Perfect. Carl, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Forgive
He's
me.
so good.
So Brandy's like, hey, man, I've never killed anybody. Let me see that gun. And like Reno's like, all right. And then she shoots, perfect aim, dead shot. She hits the lock right out of the drawer. They whip out, they just take out Liza's.
2.
They take out all the glamorous shots of fucking Reno and Liza's blackmail photos. And they're like, fuck the other women. Who
Fuck
cares?
everybody else. They're shitty people.
And they're like, we got a moving car to meet up. So they drive back to Dominique's, and they see they almost have a head-on collision with the fucking drivers. And then Reno's like, I got a great idea. You drive erratically right alongside the van, and I'm going to leap across, and I'm going to stop these guys. God. And she's like, hey, that sounds. He's like, I've already killed 3 people today. Why not 2 more?
Why not?
So we have this scene. We get a great shot of Lorenzo's stunt double leaping across, and she's weaving back and forth for some reason.
No reason at all.
Of course, we have the obligatory car coming from the opposite direction, and they have to go away.
Swerve around that.
And then, so Reno jumps on the cab. Alan is in the passenger seat. For some reason, the guy driving, his job is to shoot fucking Reno, too. Like, you think Alan could do that. So Reno grabs the gun, pulls the parking brake, which just immediately stops. It's like, they think it's like a fucking train or some shit where you pull the fucking thing.
Not quite that how brake
stops it.
Those work.
Then fucking Alan and Reno have a roundhouse exchange. Like, Reno's just spinning around, kicking the fuck out of Alan, knocks him out. And then Brandy comes out of nowhere. Where the fuck was she? Because she was not in. Was she riding in back?
She could have just been driving behind them because she was still driving.
I guess.
She was just driving her car behind them, man.
Brandy's got the gun. She got the drop on Reno. She's about to shoot him. And then fucking Dominique just shoots her in the back of the head. It was like fucked up. Like her head explodes.
Again, I didn't think 90s got this much nudity and this much
I didn't think it got
gore.
this dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her head just blows up like a watermelon.
And she even mocked her voice. How does it feel to taste lead, bitch?
And then Bobby just comes up. Never met Dominique. Hey, babe, what's going on? Great job.
Pats her on the butt, hand over the shoulder. Have you seen my hairy legs before? It's a little Joe Biden joke for you.
Oh, God.
Joe Biden loves his hairy legs.
And then he just flips that fucking mullet, and we know the story's over. So we got to wrap the show up, Griff. Reno, he's honoring his debt to Dominic. She put her life on the line for him.
She did. And although she did admit that she loved it, it was the best moment of her life. It was the first time she felt alive.
I'm never going back. I'm going to kill more people.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's your business.
Yeah.
And
do you want to hook up with your husband real quick first? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I need the money. So yeah, I'll probably kill him now.
Yeah.
And
she's probably got all kinds of ideas.
She's got a taste for blood, dude.
And so they're sitting on this little park bench, beautiful wooded area, And Reno is like, come on, babe, you know you want it.
We
And
see this very upstanding businessman. I'm going to say a successful version of Griff. He's got the mustache. He's like, rumph! He's in the back.
Gray and black, and yeah.
And then he's like, come on, babe, you know you want me to fucking give you that high beef injection. She
Oh,
loves
my
that dirt.
God.
You might think it's disgusting, but she loves that
I think
crap.
it's disgusting, but she's an Arby's girl, and she loves talking meat.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's got the meat curtains.
Give me the curly fry.
So he's like, how dare you talk to my woman that way? And he punches.
Back
Reno
to the future.
Reno just takes the punch. He could easily kill this guy,
Yeah.
but he falls down. He's like, come on, we're going to go to Paris for a month, and I'm going to fuck you silly every day. And she's like,
Jesse Ventura?
she did say brother after.
He said.
And she's like, oh, my. And they walk off. And then, so Reno, he's done his good deed, but what's going on with Bobby and Liza?
I just have to say, that was the Back to the Future plan that worked out.
Right. Now that they did that, the guy who, Marty McFly, is going to live.
Yeah. So, yeah, we go back to Bobby Sixkiller, and he's not out killing.
And that cruel cunt, Liza,
That
who
girl-
deserves to have her kids taken away from her because she plays mind games.
She is manipulative harlot.
She is.
And so this side has got Bobby Sixkiller dancing around her finger. She's Lisa from the room. And she's like, Bobby, are you okay? Did you do the deed? Did you
kill him like I asked? No, I just
want
got these
pictures.
Yeah, these pictures and the negatives.
Yeah.
Because remember, guys, this is the 90s. Like now, you would just have a million like fucking zip drives or whatever.
Or
the
you
fuck
would just
with
say,
these
I
things.
broke a hard drive or
Yeah.
two, you know.
But I'm just saying, like, you could never do this to a bad guy anymore.
Oh, no, absolutely not. There's backups everywhere. The cloud, you can't go break the cloud.
I'm sure they could make up a story where they did. They
will.
Hijack the cloud.
No, they will. They absolutely
But,
will.
yeah, and he's just like, so did I do good? Did I do good? You did good. She pats him on the head like a fucking child.
It was rough.
And then she's like, I don't know what you're doing, Bobby, but I'm going to go get fucked. And then she just walks away.
Yeah, she's like, my heart's a little lonely, and I've been craving a man with a beautiful flowing hair and ability to accessorize, and you're just not it.
And
You're
then
just not it.
he just turns away, and you see one tear fall down his eye. And then you know what the crazy twist Twilight Zone episode ending was? Her crazy ex-husband was married to Dominique.
Wow. That was a surprise
There you
ending.
go. Yeah,
That was.
I just made it up, but it would really be great. So
Shouldn't have spoiled that one. No one's watching this episode now that you spoiled that.
no one's watching this episode anyway. We'll be like if anyone listens to our episode, not let alone watch it. So
This is a free episode up on the Tubi.
yes, all Renegade episodes. And seriously, because I don't want to do the research. If there's a Bobby Sixkiller heavy episode, let us know on Twitter at G&G Theater because I want to review it. But I think next we actually shocking that we're doing a Tippy-Tap episode today, Griff, because I got a request from one of our ardent followers in Australia, and I actually thinking about doing this TV show for our next Tippy-Tap episode. Anyway, I think we need to break out some Knight Rider.
I mean, we had a David Hasselhoff reference earlier. So
Yeah, it just flows.
very appropriate.
It flows like a Sioux Falls waterfall.
I love it.
So I think we're going to do that. I'm partial to the one where there's Michael Knight has an evil twin named Garth, which is just David Hasselhoff with a mustache and a soul patch.
Oh, my God. That's
So-
where Chris Gaines got it from.
So we'll either do that or the one that was Carr, Karr, which was Kit's evil twin. So we'll do one of those.
I've never watched a Knight Rider episode.
I watch it occasionally. I never watch it regularly, but I did watch it occasionally as a kid.
It's got that nice camp that we like feel to it.
Camp?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So it's got David Hasselhoff in it. Of course it has Camp.
I actually said Kemp, the evil brother of Camp.
I thought you said Cam, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, that'll be the next episode. It'll come out whenever, because like we said, we're in quarantine mode. We don't know what the
It's
fuck
also
we're
with
doing.
Tippy-Tap, and when do Tippy-Taps come out?
Right. You get them when we tell you can get them.
Exactly.
So you'll know when we know. So see you next time from Knight Rider. Tippy-Tap your way out of here.